If you have a .NET interview coming up and you don't know where to start, this video is for you. I'm going to cover the top 10 in .NET interview questions that are actually being asked in 2025. With clear answer, you can use this right away. Still, stay till the end because question number 8 and 10 are the ones most candidates get wrong. Let's get into it. So, first question we have. Which is what is the CLR and what does it do? Most interviewers are asked this question in interview. So, what is CLR? CLR stands for Common Language Runtime. What does it mean by Common Language Runtime? Let's elaborate this one. So, let's make this word into three separate parts. Common Language Runtime. So, common means it works for all .NET languages like C#, Web.NET. It's not just for one language, it's for all .NET languages we can use. What does that mean by languages? Languages mean it understands programming languages. And what is runtime? It works at a time your program is actually running. Not when you write code, not when you compile, only when it runs. So it's called runtime. So CLR is basically the engine that runs your .NET application. When you write C# code, it does not run directly on your computer. What does that mean by? It's mean that your computer only understand machine code, which is 0 and 1s. Okay, so C# is human friendly code. Computer cannot understand it, so something needs to translate it to 1s and 0. That translator is the CLR. So think about that like you speak English but your computer speaks binary. CLR is the interpreter between you and the machine. So our C# code is not directly run on our computer. So first it compiles into something called IL. IL stand for intermediate language. What does it mean by compile? Compile is the process of converting your C# code into another format automatically. Whenever you press build in Visual Studio, this happens. IL stand for intermediate language. What does it mean by intermediate language? Let's suppose you write C# code. C# compile into IL, which is intermediate language. This is not yet machine code, it is in between. Then IL, intermediate language, gets converted to actual machine code by CLR, Common Language Runtime. So IL is like a half translator language, not human, not machine, somewhere in the middle. After intermediate language, then the CLR takes that intermediate language code and convert it to machine code at the runtime using a JIT compiler, just-in-time compiler. JIT stands for just-in-time compiler. So what does it mean by machine code? Machine code is the actually binary instruction your CPU understands and executes. Powers zeros and ones. That's it. And what does it mean by at runtime? It means this conversion happen live while your program is running, not before. This is important. And what does it mean by JIT, which is stand for just in time compiler? Just in time, it means it compiles only the code you need exactly when you need it, not everything up front. This makes startup faster because it does not compile the whole program at once. It compiles method by method only when the method is called. So JIT is like a chef who cooks your food only when you order it, not everything in advance. The other benefit is the CLR also handle memory management, garbage collection, and exceptional handling. What does it mean by these words like memory management, garbage collection, and exceptional handling? Let's elaborate these. Memory management. What does it mean? Memory management, when CLR decide when to give memory to your object and when to take it back. You don't do this manually in C# like you do in C++. So this is the memory management what CLR handles. The other thing is garbage collection. CLR automatically finds objects in memory that are no longer being used and delete them to free up space, like a cleaner who removes things you no longer need. In C++, you manually delete objects or you get memories leaks. In C Sharp, the CLR garbage collector does it for you automatically. What does it mean by exceptional handling? When something goes wrong in your code, like dividing by zeros or a null reference, CLR catch that errors and manage it so your whole application is not crushed silently. So in simple words, CLR is what makes your .NET code truly run. So in simple words, if you want, CLR is the engine, Jet is the fuel injector, and IL is the fuel. So together they makes your .NET application to run. This was the first question, like what is the CLR? And now the second question, which is mostly asked in interviews, like what is the difference between .NET Framework and .NET Core? So .NET Framework is the old version, Windows only, and released back in 2022. What does it mean by .NET is old version or Windows only? So Windows only means this is the biggest limitation. If any companies wanted to run their services on Linux, which is cheaper and faster, they could not use it, the .NET Framework. This was a huge problem at that time. So in 2002, smartphone does not exist, cloud computing does not exist. The world was very different. .NET Frameworks was built for that world, not today's world. And .NET Core is the modern version, cross-platform. What does it mean by cross-platform? One code base run anywhere. You write your code once and it runs on any operating system. It's called cross-platform. This was a game changer. Now companies could run .NET apps on cheap Linux server on AWS or Azure and save thousands of dollars. Why we are mentioning Linux? So Linux, most cloud server runs on Linux. Linux is free. Windows server cost money. Docker container runs on Linux. Without cross-platform support, .NET was dying. It was be almost finished nowadays if there was no cross-platform. This was the biggest game changer of .NET. .NET Core is now just called .NET from version 5 onward. Version 5 onward means .NET Core 1, 2, 3, then Microsoft dropped the word core. And simply .NET 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. This is .NET Core, just renamed. There is no .NET Framework 5. That name stopped at version 4.8. When someone says .NET 8 or .NET 10, they means modern cross-platform version. A lot of beginners get confused by the naming. Just remember, anything .NET 5 and above is the modern version. So .NET Framework is the old Windows only version. .NET Core is the modern cross-platform version, and today we just call it .NET. Now the third question, which is very important, and each and every interview you will hear this question, which is what is async and await in C Sharp. It's not only used in C Sharp, it's used in every language. Whatever you want to learn in every programming language, you will see async and await. So async and await is how we write asynchronous code in C Sharp. Let me explain with this simple example. Imagine you order food. So async and await. Async and await is how we write asynchronous code in C Sharp. What does it mean by asynchronous? Asynchronous means doing multiple things without waiting for each one to finish before starting the next. And synchronous, so async and await. Async and await is how we write asynchronous code in C Sharp. What does it mean by asynchronous? Asynchronous means doing multiple things without waiting for each one to finish before starting the next. So we have two words, which is synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous means line by line, one thing at a time. Line 2 waits for line 1 to finish. In asynchronous, you start a task, don't wait for it, go to do other things, come back when it's done. So synchronous is like standing in a queue at the bank. You wait and wait and wait. Asynchronous is like taking a token number, going to sit down and coming back only when your number is called. When you call an async method and await, your program does not freeze. Freeze means this is what happening without async. If you make a database call synchronously, your entire application stops and waits. No other request can be handled. User see a pause on screen. Async keyword tells C# that this method contains asynchronous operations It is a promise that says this method will do something that takes time. Await keywords tell C# wait for this specific things, but don't block whole thread while waiting. The thread is freed off to handle other works. Best use for database calls, APIs calls, file IO, input output. Why these specifically? Because these are slow operations. Database query could take 200 milliseconds. External API call could take 500 milliseconds. Reading a large file could take 1 second. These operations involve waiting for something outside your application. While you wait, your CPU is doing nothing. Async lets your CPU do useful working during that waiting time. Task. What does it mean by task? The return type of async await. Think of task as a promise. That is a result. That a result will come back eventually. So async await keeps your application fast and responsive by never blocking thread while waiting for their slow operations.